Hey everybody, what's up? Today we're back in the garden again and we're going to talk about how to use tulips as cut flowers. Tulips are one of my favorite flowers. There are so many different types and so many different colors. So let's get into it. First and foremost, I want to talk about how do I know if a tulip is ready to pick. Ideally, you'd like to pick these before they've actually opened so you can get the longest vase life from them. They like to stay cool, so hot days will force them open a little earlier than you want, so you got to be on the lookout. Here we can look at this bulb and you can tell it's still pretty green. There's no color showing whatsoever at all, so I'm going to wait on this one. I've seen a lot of people pick tulips when they are still very green and they color up and open just fine after they've been picked. I personally like to wait. So again, it's one of those things where you can do some trial and error and pick different stages and see what you can get to open up in a vase. Personally, I like to let them mature on the plant. Ideally, we're looking for flowers that are still closed up tight, but all the color is showing through. These are the ones that I want to pick. When you pick them in this stage, they're also really good for storage. For example, if you have access to a florist cooler, you can wrap these up in newspaper when they're at this stage, and they'll usually keep about 2 to 3 weeks. I've had some last about a month. Since tulips do have a pretty good vase life, you always have the option to let them just open up before you pick them. I know a lot of people hate picking their flowers, like, oh, they look so good out in front of the house. Why would I pick them and make the front of the house look bad? Well, if you want, you can let them open up outside in front of the house, enjoy them in the landscape, and then before they start going downhill, go ahead and pick them. You'll still get a few days of pretty flowers in the house. Moving on to how to actually pick these things, there's two ways to think about this. Tulips are technically perennials that'll come back every year. However, in a lot of places, they won't flower again a second year. For me personally, I've never had a tulip come back and flower a second year. In fact, I've got a couple of them that the foliage comes back every year for like 4 years and it's never bloomed again. That's a big reason a lot of people treat them as annuals, and when they pick the flower, they also pick the bulb out of the ground too. If you want to try your luck at letting your tulips come back for the next year, all you need to do is take a pair of clippers or scissors or whatever you use, go down to the stem and cut the tulip at the base of the stem and leave all the leaves there. When you're working with bulbs, you want to make sure you always leave all your leaves there because those leaves are going to collect the energy for next year if it's going to bloom. Since I do treat my tulips as annuals, I'm going to go down to the base of the whole plant and I'm just going to gently pull. It should bring up all the plant as well as the bulb from underground. This is one of the reasons that I plant my tulip bulbs a little shorter than the package says. Now, in a lot of cases, it will break off and that's no big deal. When you do pick one and the bulb comes up with it, go ahead and just snip off the bulb. You have this nice long stem that you can use in a vase. Make sure to dispose of the bulbs. I do believe these are toxic to pets, so that's something to keep in mind. As with all plants in the garden, make sure you do your own research and are responsible for what you're putting into your garden around everybody you love and yourself. When you pick these, it's a good idea to wear some gloves. I still haven't found my gloves. I'm gonna get me a pair, I promise, guys. Just like a lot of flowers, these have a sap and some chemicals in them that can irritate your fingers, especially if you're gonna touch a lot of them. Don't touch your eyes and your mouth and all that good stuff. I know, safety first. On the top of my head, I think that's about it. I hope this video was helpful, and if it was, go ahead and give me a like and subscribe. I would absolutely love to have you. Links to all my social media, blog, and all that stuff is down in the description, and I hope it's sunny wherever you are, and I hope you're having a really great day. Bye, guys.